Hi guys, welcome back to the Dance of Evolving. If you are new to my channel, I love to share insights on the spiritual journey. Um, I'm so into body movement and the connection with music and living and stepping into your own soul, and then just aiding in any way that we can be a true spirit and a conscious spirit in this human experience. I'm filming this a little bit differently today because I realized um, that I was going to speak on how to step into your own power and not give control to others. And when I was planning on doing that, I see that I'm avoiding things in my own life that are causing me, it's self-sabotaging for me. So in doing this video, I'm doing it in a natural way where I am still just working through things right now as we're talking, but I feel compelled to share with you some of the insights that I found today. Really working through each day what is uncomfortable for you, what comes up, and knowing that that is the layer that you've been called to hold space for and move through is so important. And that was heavy duty today. So by the end of this video, you are going to learn the 4 ways to step into your own power, how to not give your power away to other people. And you're gonna be watching me like work through it right now as we're talking. I have stuff everywhere. I just worked, all weekend, and while I had amazing connections, I was vending at certain house music events and literally connecting soul to soul with so many people. But to remain balanced within your own body and to know yourself and to listen to your signals, it's so important. And I lost track of that this weekend. And then I'm thankful for the knowledge of that, and just to see that I can jump in as much as I am learning things. I'm jumping into patterns and walking through things that are heavy duty as well. We're all in this together. So, the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I have some notes on this phone, is the first way to really, and this is the main thing I'm working through, is in order to step into your own power. And what I mean by that is like you are in your soul's essence. It is the reason why you woke up. We are a spirit, guys, in a body, and we have a mind. We are not the body. We are not the mind. We are our spirit. And who's really in there? That's the question I've been asking myself. Outside of the stories, outside of everything that moved me, my whys, that I was driven by external validation from others or needing things. Sorry guys, that's my dishwasher. Who am I? And what is my true drive in life? What do I value? All of these things. Sorry, battery's low, but that'll keep me to keep it short. What's my why? And the first way to truly step into your own power is to intentionally build an emotional intelligence. And I'm going to go ahead and show you here what I'm going to post a document that you can use for these 4 steps. But to take responsibility with your emotional intelligence, to take responsibility for your emotions with self-regulation practices, and I'll be able to go over some of those. Don't let an emotional reaction to a situation become you. And you pause. You welcome any of these reactions, these emotions, these things that surface as a teacher to help you respond. And emotions are not enemies. That causes you to react. To step out of the victim mode is the first way to truly step into your own power. Because these emotions will drain your energy if you let them control you. And that's the biggest way that we all give our power away. And so thinking emotionally intelligent is more than just knowing your emotions, but knowing how to not suppress them, knowing how to walk through each layer at a time in a way that liberates you. Your liberation is your purpose. That was my biggest aha today. I can go, helping others try to feel liberated and seeing them as who they are. But do I see me? Do I know how I feel? Do I recognize the emotions I'm feeling today? And I'm posing the same questions to you. We wake up, we open our eyes every morning for a reason. And that reason is simply to find our way back home to ourselves, to make sense of this world that we're living in, to make sense of our actions, the way we move our energy. Our energy is our currency. And to give our energy away constantly, I think the biggest thing with emotional intelligence is ask who's really in there. Do you know what your spirit feels like, whole and complete? And what's keeping that from happening? And each day I find a new layer. I believe that a higher power gives us what we can handle for that day. For example, today I was working through being overwhelmed. And I get overwhelmed after I do things and not find a balance. Something gets off balance in me. And then I get overwhelmed. And so I actually wrote up here, what is overwhelming about my life today? I was like, let's be real with myself. And tending to my own house that I'm so lucky to have, and learning that what do I need, and what can I use here as resources, what can I give to others. I just went through a major move, and I'm going through a peaceful divorce after 14 years, and there are so many things that we accumulated in reaching for external things to feel okay. And so now, like, what do I do with these things? And even if I feel like I can use them, how can I organize them in a space in a way that helps my spirit move with ease? And I love to help others do that. And then I looked and I'm like, wow, if you are not tending to yourself in the way that you're helping others, it's inevitable that you will be drained, because that means we are avoiding something within us. So then I tied that with the layer. So when you have something that's uncomfortable for you, then I was like, what is the overall belief? What do I really believe? What belief is driving this to become unbalanced? And I was reeled at, am I really ready for this next stage of my life? And am I good enough? I created chatter in my mind, and we can do this so easily by trying to be worthy from other people. And other people are only going to see us in the light of their inner state. And you take that in. So if they don't think you're worthy, they're also working on their own worthiness. And so us trying to fulfill something in ourselves through them is going to deplete them. It's going to be imbalanced. So I realized, well, what is really the truth? What is my spirit telling me? And with the overwhelming feeling, and I'm working through, just moving my things around and knowing how to be super smart with my finances, and how to walk in the unknown and embrace changes that are unfolding in front of me in the present moment. Those are my biggest things. And the really true belief that my spirit knows is that my spirit can handle all that's in front of me. And how can I listen to my soul's whispering each day? And that is when my soul whispered to me that my liberation is my purpose. So how can I tend to my own liberation instead of tending to the liberation of others? If I see that there's a part in me that needs attention, I can step away. Always, always to tend to myself. And knowing that I'm worthy and you're worthy of life and of living this true essence, spirit-led life, without liberating others. That our liberation liberates others. So that was a big aha for me. And with that emotional intelligence, if you the biggest thing with this is layer by layer, decide what is not okay. What are you looking externally for in people or things what could you possibly be running from yourself? Anytime you don't feel pure inner peace and love and light within you, it's a layer, and to walk through it. And another thing with the emotional intelligence is to shift the perspective of this is being done to me, people are doing this to me, or people are making me feel this way, but instead shifting it to yourself. Why am I feeling this way? How is my perception of this keeping me from being my most empowered self? And what am I learning about myself in this uncomfortable experience? And daily making note of it is so powerful, because then you can go back and reflect. The second way that that we can really take our own power back is to embody your own values as your spirit. Really embody your values and move and breathe and have your being with those values in mind. And that becomes part of your main mission. And so, like, knowing what your values are really important. It's funny, my ex, who, we still have a love for each other in a way that's higher than ourselves. But, we talked about this, that we didn't even really discuss what our values were all the times we were together. We were together for 18 years and then 14 married. And, like, to not even know what each other truly valued. I mean, of course, it would be hard to be in harmony and alignment with another soul when you don't know yourself. And so everyone has different values and perceptions and thoughts about life. And there's no one right way or right path. And that's the honest truth. Every soul is on a different journey, and we all have a different curriculum. And you're not for everyone. And it's a natural weeding out. And to know your worth outside of the way anyone acts, and if they don't value what you value, it's okay. Identify the things that are most important to you and live accordingly, and let others do the same. So if others don't value what you value, it's okay. Sometimes when things aren't aligned, you can just simply know that what is your truth, what's your harmony. You don't need to bend yourself at all. And then things will be aligned in love in the future. So if you're wondering what your values are, and you want to dig a little bit deeper, I monthly, actually, I picture myself, I probably do it more than this, but I picture myself at my 80th birthday. And the reason why is because we can get caught up in the age that we're in right now, and, like, maybe like certain stories that the world has offered us that we've taken, and even, thinking our worth is tied to physical appearance or the type of age that we are, but truly picture yourself at your 80th birthday and your spirit is there in your body. And how do you move in that celebration for yourself? Who is there? And what type of people do you have surrounding you? When people get up to speak of you, or you're reading your birthday cards, what are they saying about you? What do they value about your presence? How is your presence truly present in that moment? And really, really visualizing that. So sometimes I'll just turn on some soft music and I visualize this. And then I ask myself, what does this say about what I value right now? And how can I move toward that? Because, we're all going to age. And you can have a super tired and old 40-year-old spirit, or you could have a young and vibrant spirit at 80 years old. It all depends on your inner state. So knowing your values is so important. I like to identify, like, my top 3 values. Mine have shifted. For example, mine used to be like authenticity, vulnerability, and working on, like, an unconditional love. With that, though, with my level of consciousness that I had, it was based on wanting to save others and not truly walking through things within myself. I was scared of a lot of shadow versions of myself. And so, like, being able to truly embrace all aspects of you and to walk through them. And with that, I have changed my values, which there's no right or wrong list of values, honestly. But right now, my values are, I understand that my inner state and how I feel and how my spirit moves is my purpose. And so I shifted from my mission being to help everybody else uncover layers to what layer am I uncovering? Am I walking truly in this world as my essence, and what is not my essence, and have I walked through it? So mine is like growth, and growth in the sense that I am finding my way back home. My second one is self-awareness. And then third is still unconditional love, because to truly know what a love is higher than ourselves and higher than our intellect is our state of being. So I would identify your values, and I can post below. One of my very first videos that I made over a year ago was based on values, and so I'll put the link for that below. But to embody your values and hold that as, what is your why? What's your mission? Knowing your intention. So the third one is, with those two in place, you're going to be building discernment. And that's an inner knowing. You have an intuition that only you can tap into, where you can go and seek out advice from everyone, but no one knows you like you. So ask yourself before you invest energy into an interaction, comment, or judgment from another, if it's worth your time and energy. How important is this relationship to you? Is this person able to hold space for other perspectives? And stop trying to prove people wrong. It'll drain you. So knowing your own discernment, and as this goes hand in hand with the emotional intelligence, working through layer by layer and walking true in your values and your mission. And then you build a discernment, because, and this is really what happens, every time you transcend through another layer of what's not you, you build an understanding of the world around you and why people act the way they act, how people view you, if they're viewing you in love or if they're viewing you out of need. And with unconditional love, you can know that that person is going through whatever they're going through, and that there will always be energies around you that don't align. But how do you move? What are your boundaries? So with discernment, I want to focus on boundaries. And when I say boundaries, I mean, what boundaries are you setting for yourself in your own actions, behaviors, and thoughts, based on knowing your values, based on, really, really building that emotional intelligence and working through layer by layer. Then where you're uncomfortable in that layer you're working through, know that it's not someone else doing this to you. How do you move in that energy? And how's your energy, your currency? How do you move with equanimity, meaning a balance, even in the eye of a storm? A bull runs straight in a storm. A bull knows his boundaries. So to know in any circumstance, how do you move as your spirit self? A way that I have done this before is I actually make a T-chart, and I list my spirit self and my human self, and like the polarities of them, and accepting both of them, but knowing when I step into them. So for example, like, on my side of my spirit self, I move with purpose of just being joy and light and love. And I can walk into a space as my spirit self, not need anything from that space, not need anything from anyone, no attention, anything. And whatever I partake in serves me. So for example, if I'm out having a beverage, I'm like, does this serve me? If I'm in conversation with a person, does this serve me? Now my human self, different. There are times I step into that former version of myself, or the ego part of me that is still maybe afraid to age, or not knowing my worth, or wanting to feel worthy from the viewpoint of someone else, and then I walk in with a whole different vibration. So to know your spirit self and your your shadow self, and to embrace and accept both versions, but have that state of consciousness to know how to step back into your power, your essence. And that discernment then also helps you view others with just unconditional love, and an understanding that it doesn't bother your inner peace, but you understand what they're going through. And then that goes to the last one, number 4, which is your self-image. And this goes hand in hand with walking through layers of beliefs, because when you really tie into how you view yourself and what you truly believe, I think of like sifting through a belief closet. We wear clothes every day. We choose them, but some of the clothes in our closet don't serve us any longer. And some of the beliefs that we hold don't serve us any longer, and they actually drive our actions. So really asking yourself what limiting beliefs are causing you to seek or depend on others' approval. This changes your why. If you truly know your mission and your why in life, and you are walking in that purpose, the approval of others won't matter. I mean, real truth, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Anyone. It matters how your spirit feels. And if you're aware and moving in that power that you have that is higher than you, and you're integrating a higher power, you're integrating your intellectual mind, but you know you're not your intellectual mind. You're integrating your body, which sends you signals. Your nervous system is going to bring up self-image beliefs. You are going to feel things in your body, your nervous system, that don't reside with that don't resonate with your spirit. Because if you're worried about what other people think, you're not in the present moment. And so your self-image was mainly formed between the ages of 1 to 7. And so really getting back to those beliefs. I mean, I'm working through a belief every day, and I just shared one with you. I'm not good enough. That's not true. But to acknowledge and to hold that belief. So to wrap up, the 4 ways to truly take your power back. And we step into this literally. We shift a whole timeline. To build your emotional intelligence by facing things layer by layer, not even facing, but walking with compassion, giving space, holding on to what version of you is coming up and how can you show up for that version, and walking through those beliefs. And then your second one is to embody your values, really determining what your values are and what drives you, and knowing your why and your mission. And then, of course, discernment. And that discernment is that inner knowing and really building that. And then your self-image. And so this is something your liberation is your purpose. And your liberation shifts worlds around you because you carry a frequency that no one else has. So I love you all. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you think that this would benefit others, share. And then click the notifications bell if you'd like to know when I have videos. And peace and love, and may the light in you and the light in me continue to shine.